how much curiosity do you cultivate in your day-to-day life? I think most of us like to think that we're fairly open-minded, and the reality is most of us have a fairly fixed mindset. We like to attach ourselves to what we believe to be true and assume that everything that we know is fairly accurate. And as a result, we close ourselves off to a lot of opportunities for new learning. And curiosity is so beneficial to our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. It's also really good for our overall brain health and our relational health. It really boosts our relationships. However, the reason so many of us aren't manifesting as much curiosity in our lives as potentially we could be is because we're stuck in our smartphones. I mean, any moment of boredom, any void in our day is literally filled with our social media apps. And I suppose I'm not being completely hard on the social media apps. I do realize that they have a usage and that there's some really valuable content on them and that can be really beneficial to people. However, we tend to not be scrupulous enough or selective enough with what it is that we follow. We tend to follow more vacuous content as opposed to educational content. So it's really important that you become very savvy when it comes to your mobile phone usage and the impact it is having on your ability to be interested in your life, to explore your life, to pay attention to what it is that's going on, because so much of what we do is at an automated level and to our detriment. We're not really taking in what's going on outside of us, but nor are we taking in what's going on inside of us, and consequently we're very zoned out, we're very unaware of our internal experience, and we are struggling with our mental health and emotional health as a result. So I suppose when I talk about self-awareness, that's a type of curiosity. It's basically asking yourself, okay, what is it that's going on inside of me at the moment? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? And I don't know about you guys, but I love discovering new stuff about myself. I love getting better insight into all the craziness and quirkiness that I can discover about myself, and cultivating that curiosity is amazing, because self-discovery should be a lifelong journey. Likewise, when you're curious about other people, it gives you the advantage of potential new perspectives. I mean, when we only have our own perspective, we're quite limited. Whereas when we take the contribution of other people, it just means it can widen our world so much more if we're willing to entertain it, if we're willing to hear other people. And when we're curious with other people, our relationships improve because they will feel like we're genuinely interested in them, that we really want to hear what they are going to say. And this works so well both in our personal and our professional relationships. I mean, people are so much more motivated to spend time with you or to row in with you when they feel that you genuinely care about what it is that they have to say. Likewise, paying attention to the world around you. I mean, there is so many potential moments for inspiration, for new ideas, for finding out about new things that could, change your world and change your life around. And yet we're so face down in our smartphones that we don't tend to notice these things. We're not paying attention to our lives. We're not paying attention to our internal experience. And as a result, our general life satisfaction levels are lower because we're not thoroughly exploiting our full potential. We're not open to what it is that is going to give us fulfillment. We're not open to exploiting all the potential ideas, the inner genius that we have inside of us, because we're not being curious. We're not asking the right questions. And I suppose knowing the right questions is an important skill, because it's not just about throwing questions out willy-nilly. It's about asking yourself depth questions. This is kind of questions that go a little bit beyond superficial. Likewise, when talking to other people, I mean, we're all about, hi, how are you? Did you watch such and such last night? But when you start asking a person questions about their actual life, how it is that they're feeling, what is their experience of X, Y, and Z, things reach a whole new level. And we need to start doing this in our relationships. I mean, a lot of people spend decades living together and never actually get to know each other. They're just, everything is on a very surface level, and it just means that that deep connection, that meaningful relationship that is potentially there for the taking, is never, I suppose, reached. It's never achieved, and that's such a loss to the people in the relationship. I mean, literally, there's so much to be gained from being more curious, from a lifelong learning approach. I mean, we should literally be learning until our deathbed, and that's an assumption that we have moved away from. You know, we tend to think, as I said, that we have enough information to get by, and we've become very passive and automated. So get more curious with yourself. Make sure that you're asking yourself on a daily basis, checking in with yourself as to what's going on internally. Likewise, get curious with other people. Get curious about the world around you. Ask questions like, what if? I wonder how? What do you think? You know, and these are the sort of questions that will take you to another level, that will help generate creativity and will help you find a more purposeful and satisfactory way of life. If you want to manifest more curiosity in your life, get in touch with me on the website. It's fundamentals.ie.